Hey, what's going on, gamers? So I have been dabbling with Alchemy Factory in between me making my game and doing all the game development stuff, and I've been dabbling with this. I've actually been live streaming it every night as well if you have any questions about the game or anything. But essentially, I just want to show you guys around what I've got going on so far and how cool this game is. So this is a factory style game, if you didn't know. Very similar to Satisfactory and Factorio and things of that nature, but with a kind of a twist. Instead of just making the items to make them, we are literally making them to sell them to villagers and things, which I don't have your typical like selling building situation set up right now. So I'll take you through everything, kind of show you around what we got going on. Make sure you hit the like button and consider subscribing if you like stuff like this or game development or anything like that, because I am building my own survival game right now and it's pretty freaking epic. All right, so let's go through this. I'm gonna walk you through this like you don't have any idea what the hell this game is about. So we have cash registers right here, and essentially there's a few like hidden rules about the game, and more or less the villagers can only come through this door and they can only shop on the first floor of this main building. So it's kind of hence why I just have a big open concept type thing going on here. So they go pick up whatever they want out of the containers and they bring it over to the cash register, and more or less this cash gets put onto a conveyor belt that goes, if I could find my door here, goes upstairs on these conveyors here, and it goes into these chests to kind of store some like overstock and things of that nature. And then these two chests here convert the copper coins into individual single silver coins. You can adjust how, you know, the stack size of the coins and stuff like that if you want to. But more or less this money is supplying all of my purchasing portals throughout the entire build here. You can kind of see one in action here. So this purchasing portal is buying salt to go into this grinder, etc. So yeah, that's more or less how that works. Real quick, I've got pretty much every available item up to this point in the game. For those that have played this game, this is kind of where I'm at on the skill tree. Not even remotely as far as I need to be after like 200 days on this save so far, because we still got like, I don't even know, like so many more tiers to go here and so much that we've already done already, but there's quite a bit to this game, so it's pretty epic. You also have like a upgrade kind of skill tree type thing where you unlock skill points and you can put them into different things like belt speed, factory efficiency, things like that to make it all go faster. Let's see here. Hold on, something's going down. I'm asleep real quick. So in the beginning of the game, real quick, just so you aren't confused if you end up trying this game out, more or less you don't get purchasing portals right off the bat. You have to come over to the store and stuff and buy your seeds and your logs and rocks and all that stuff right out the gate. So this is a workbench that you can use to level up certain things. Like I can level up my building tool right now, so let's do that real quick. That's new. They've been consistently updating the game, which is pretty cool. I'm not 100% sure what I might have just unlocked with upgrading my thing there. I don't see it in here. We do have a new sign now. We didn't have signs before. Now we have signs, which are pretty cool. You can kind of like type on them, whatever like that, so that's pretty neat. But here we have a massive bus line. For any of you that have ever played any other factory games, you kind of know what a bus line is, I guess. But more or less the buses come out of the, here, let me turn on the UI real quick. They come out of the conveyor belts onto these catapults, and the catapults like pretty much keep the items full as they're getting purchased. So yeah, all the way down the line here, pretty neat. Here we have potions. They require a separate shelf, but these potions sell for a lot more than any of this other stuff does. Now there's a reputation system, which is kind of cool. I don't really know what it affects, but it's the very top up here. It's that very top number. Mine's at 99% or 99 right now, which is pretty much has something to do with how many villagers come or how much money they bring when they do come or something along those lines. But I forgot that I'm not really, this isn't really a game showcase. This is more of a showcasing my build type thing. So let me get back on task here. So you can see I've got 5 floors here. The bottom floor is essentially my item transportation floor, so everything gets made down there. This was prior to me finding out that you could kind of build bridges. Once you build up above the first floor, you could build these like bridges across, so I didn't really know about that, and I really wanted to use these cannons, which are just pretty much like the catapults but with longer range. So the whole bottom floor is my storage slash item transport. The second floor is pretty much all of these items right here. The third floor is all potions. The fourth floor is these relics right here, which takes quite a bit to craft, and I'll show you all that. And the entire top floor is a massive fertilizer farm that I just got done building. And this over here is essentially going to be the second relic once I figure out how to get 300 bricks per minute in this area. Just for the 300 glass per minute, this is how many rock purchasing things I needed. It is an absolute ton. But yeah, this was a project I was working on last night right before I got off, so yeah, we still gotta come up with the 300 bricks per minute here, which is gonna require just as pretty much identical amount of stone to get that accomplished. So let's start with the bottom floor first. I'll show you my little, there's really no great way to get in here. I did cut out a wall over here, but more or less everything gets made on the top, that second floor, and gets brought down to these belts, which is pretty much the same thing as over there. Each item is then put into 3 cannons and shot over to the lines. 3 cannons is just to kind of help match that. I have 225 conveyor belt speed, so 1 cannon wouldn't be enough to keep up with that, so the 3 cannons kind of takes place of that. With each item I have an overflow chest, so I have oops, I don't know what the heck I just did there, but I have an overflow chest for cogs, small cogs, mortars, nails, glass, rope, all those things that you might need to build stuff. Same goes for over here, soap, salt, all this stuff. This is a contractor portal, so any leftover bandages that I have that aren't going out to the floor, they go through this contract portal, which there's like a constant contract where you can deposit bandages and more or less make money off of it. And then we've got the silver sorter here that gives us our 1 silver coin and sends it all the way up to our main line. So this is pretty much the first floor, and the only way I really get out of here is like this, which is not the best thing in the world. The next floor, just a real quick overview. I recently removed a massive fertilizer area here because I made, you know, that massive fertilizer farm up top, so I don't need all these. I pretty much had 4 different fertilizer maker things. There was another one here and another one pretty much in this whole spot that I just recently removed. And these are all just making, you know, the basic simple items: cogs, nails, mortars, glass, rope, all that good stuff. The fertilizer is an extremely important part of this entire game, honestly, so if you get a chance to just make you a fertilizer specific farm that can pretty much fuel every one of your plant nurseries, you need a lot of it. So you can see we've got top floor coming down with fertilizer here. We'll go show you that in a second. The next floor is pretty much the potions floor, so this is where all of my potions are being made. Right now I've got three different ones. We got the transformation potions, the vitality, and the healing ones. If you want any breakdowns of how I did all this stuff, just let me know in the comments and I might make a video on it or something. I don't know, we'll see. Depends on how this video does, I guess. Yeah, so that's pretty much what's going on here. There's lots of different machines in the game that do different stuff. You have to like, for instance, this is coal. You got to send it through a crucible to make it into petroleum coke, and then coke grinds into coke powder in that one, and then we use that coke powder to make these transformation potions. And yeah, pretty awesome. But let's go to the next floor. This is a thing I already showed you guys. The next floor is, this also did have a massive fertilizer farm here, very inefficient type thing, so I rebuilt it. With these, this will be pretty cool for anybody that's gotten to this point in the game and might have got a little overwhelmed. So for these shapers, you need 300 planks, 450, and this is all subjective, right, because of the skill points that I've used. But essentially, you need these items, and I pretty much did the calculations for what I had to do to make it to where I could have 3 of those going at a time, because I felt like one just takes forever until you get your manufacturing speed up. It does definitely take forever, but more or less it equated to I needed all of this wood and all of these cogs and all of this rope, which I did a pretty sweet design for the rope making. Very compact, and yeah, I like it a lot, actually. I like that a lot. It's pretty cool. And then I've got some really weird system here to, so these saw tables make 75 planks a minute, and these actually need 75 planks, so I wanted to do 1 saw table per assembler here. And I just came up with this like a little weird idea to make these like drawbridges here. This could be a little bit tighter. Honestly, this whole entire thing could be scooted this way even more, and then it would just be one giant blob of stuff spitting out wood pulleys. But yeah, more or less, all those items are going into here to create these Jupiters that are actually making me pretty good money right now. Even though you only get one every great once in a while, they're, you know, doing a pretty good job of stacking up at there, and they're buying the heck out of them. So you can see we got another fertilizer line coming down here, all 3 of them. And the fact that they're not moving very much makes me very happy, which means we're not running out of fertilizer anywhere. And then you get up here and you see this crazy contraption, which was one of my main first attempts at making blueprints. There is a blueprint system in the game that you can build a blueprint, or you can build a structure and then copy it. And more or less this whole thing right here is a blueprint. It's a thing that makes shrooms 60 per minute. And more or less it throws away all the wood that comes with it, which is kind of a required thing that you need to do if you're making the shrooms from the gloom shroom wood, because you get 15 gloom fungus and 60 wood, and in order for your fungus to come out, you have to get rid of that wood. So more or less I'm just catapulting 4 rows. You can see this here, there's literally 4 stacked on top of each other. If you want to do this, it's kind of janky. You can't place a metal thing and then hold on, make a liar out of me. Oh yeah, that's what it is. So you can't put the lumber table down first and then the table on top of it, but you can do it apparently the vice versa way. So just in case anybody's curious about that. But yeah, so there's literally 4 of these with 4 purchasing portals on each little node thing. And like I said, oops, I didn't mean to fall down there. I made that into this one line that you could just, you know, put beside each other. Pretty neat. There is a way to export blueprints. I don't know how that works, but I possibly could export blueprints for you guys if you really want them. Next here, you're not gonna have a freaking clue what this is, but wait, how did that just disappear? It's so weird, man. Occasionally I've seen some of my things that just like disappear. I don't know what's up with that. Okay, so this block is more or less just a quicklime powder machine. I decided to make these like modular machines, and this is actually only one. This is 2 of them stacked on top of each other. So I made them pretty much nice and square to where I could stack them on top of each other. Can't really see much inside of it, but more or less this is 100 quicklime per hour. So if you look at my list over here, I started off with wanting this 900 plant ash, which is pretty much what this single machine does right here. Like I said, I know you can't see anything inside of it, but if you want to break down to that or something, just let me know. But that's making 900 plant ash per hour. So in order to match our, you know, to get our basic fertilizer, we need to match that 900, which this is only 200 quicklime. So 200, 400, 600, 800, and then 900 there. So that's pretty much the setup for that. And in order for that 900, we needed pretty much 900 gloom fungus as well, which is why there are literally like 4 times 4 is 12, 24, 40 is 48 freaking lumber saw tables here. Kind of crazy. It's kind of insane. But they all seem to be moving very well. The fertilizer farm is holding up fantastically. This line goes back to actually supply the fertilizer to the sage that's inside of this thing. So yeah, that's pretty much everything, dude. It's crazy. It's super fun. This is the 500th time I've completely demolished and rebuilt everything, and I'm kind of happy with the way that it looks now. Although I'm not 150% sure how I'm going to expand from here and kind of keep the vibe going. Unless I remove, here's what I'm maybe thinking is remove this table and then wrap that over here and put another table right here and bring my bus all the way around, and that'll give me a little bit more room. But these guys have kind of a hard time pathfinding, which they will actually, if they get stuck on something, for instance, some of these guys will come over here and they'll just stand right here, but they'll buy something off of that shelf way the heck over there, which is probably what this guy's about to do. Yeah, he's gonna stand right here and he's gonna buy something, you know, like over here or something like that. But yeah, you can see it, he just bought those right there. I don't know why they do that. It's kind of a little weird, but yeah, they still purchase the things, and they'll still, even if they can't make it to the register, you'll still see the items pop up and the money pop up over here. So at least that's, you know, it's just more of like a visual thing than anything. But yeah, I don't know. I'll figure out what I want to do to expand, because we still have, like I said, a ton of things to go. I have every one of these pieces except for copper bearings being automated right now. I'm working on this Saturn relic, and I don't have diamonds or malachite going just yet either, so lots to go. But I've been enjoying this game a bunch, and I hope you enjoyed this video to showcase my base. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.